I broke down 32 of the best high-ticket sales funnels, including Alex Hormozis, Sabri Subis, Ravi Abuvalas, Dan Henrys, and many, many more. So in this video, I'm going to share everything, what they're doing, everything that I learned so that you can apply these same things for your own business. And in this video, I'm going to share everything systematically. We're going to start off with how they are collecting leads, what they're doing at the top of the funnel, then what they're doing to nurture those leads, what they're doing to warm them up. Then we're going to look at how they're actually getting booked calls, which is the most important part. And lastly, we're going to look at what they're doing after someone has booked a call. And this is the most overlooked part in any sales funnel. So let's start off with what they're doing to collect leads. And this is where we can find the biggest differences. So there are very, very big differences in how they're collecting leads, what they're actually offering in exchange to actually get that lead, and what channels they're collecting leads, what they're doing on YouTube, what they're doing on Instagram, and so on. So what are they offering to actually get that lead? Because you obviously know you can't get a lead without actually giving anything in exchange. Because just think about it. Why would someone want to give their name, email, and phone number for you if they don't get anything valuable in exchange? So as I said, there was very, very big differences in what they were offering to get those leads. So for example, Dan Henry is running a webinar, Sabri Subi is selling his book, Dan Go has a newsletter, some of them had videos, but what I found and what shocked me was that most of the top high-ticket sales funnels were actually running quizzes to collect leads. And this confused me because no one ever talks about a quiz. No one talks about quiz funnels or quiz lead magnets. So when I analyzed these top sales funnels and I found that most of them are running a quiz funnel, I mean, it like blew my mind because it felt like they are gatekeeping something. And I realized that there must be a reason why most of them are running a quiz. And I mean, they wouldn't run a quiz if it wasn't valuable. If a quiz wasn't the best way to collect leads for them, then they wouldn't run it. But because no one talks about a quiz, I was very confused. But after analyzing a bit more, I actually realized why they were running a quiz, and it's actually genius. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. But this is how the quiz works. So you obviously have the quiz opt-in page, you know, the same as in every other lead magnet, but then you have obviously the quiz. So instead of having a standard intake form with like name and email, you have an intake form with many, many more questions. And then after these questions, people will get a lead magnet based on what they answered in these questions. So they get something personalized and customized for their unique situation. And if you take a look at what the best high-ticket sales funnels are doing and compare that with what most people are running, we can see clear differences. So firstly, there are so many businesses that just have like a get in touch intake form and they expect to get leads just by running that. If you take a look at this, I mean, you don't get anything valuable in exchange. This is for people who already know that they want to work with you. This is for people who want to get in touch with you. And it's very obvious why you don't get any leads if this is what you're running. And then most of the people that run lead magnets, they run a very generic lead magnet. They have some ebook, some guide, some PDF that no one fucking cares about. I mean, just think about it. There are two things. First of all, everyone else in your market, every other business also has like a guide or something. So you don't stand out in any way because every other competitor, everyone else on the internet also has their own lead magnet, their own ebook. So you don't differentiate yourself at all. You know, people are tired of these standard ebooks because they have opted in for like 50 of them in the past. And then the second thing is that this lead magnet that you have, this same thing goes to every single person that opts in. And as you know, not everyone in your market is the same. Not everyone is at the same stage. Not everyone has the same problems and so on. So you have to make your lead magnet very generic so that it fits everyone. And if you try to make it fit everyone, then it actually helps no one. So the two flaws with the standard lead magnets is that everyone else is also offering the same thing. And secondly, it's not valuable. It's generic, it's shit, and nobody cares about it. And there are two questions that we need to ask in order to find a lead magnet that's actually good. And the questions that I asked when breaking down these sales funnels was that we need to find something that's extremely valuable for the lead, because otherwise, they won't want to opt in. It's so important and so simple. If you can make your lead magnet, if you can make your free stuff more valuable, then more people will want it. That's obvious, right? But what's actually valuable for someone? Well, a webinar is valuable because you get to watch something for many, many hours and you get a lot of information from it. A book is obviously very valuable. A video is quite valuable. And a quiz is also very, very, very valuable because you get something personalized, customized, and tailored for your specific situation. You get something for your unique situation. You answer some questions about yourself, about where you're at, and then you get something that specifically helps you. And that's very, very valuable. And then the second thing is that the lead magnet can't be too hard to create or to run. it needs to be scalable. And which lead magnets are easy to create and scalable? Well, a newsletter is very easy to create and very easy to run. A video is very easy. The intake form that I showed you is very easy to create. And the ebook is very easy to create. You can just create it once and give it to 10,000 people. But then we come to the quiz, and you may think that creating something personalized for every single person who opts in, well, that must be unscalable. That must be very, very hard to actually implement. But in today's day and age, with the help of AI, with the use of AI, creating a quiz and creating something personalized for every single person who opts in, it's actually not that hard to pull off. So if we then look at which lead magnets are in both categories, which lead magnets are extremely valuable for the lead, but also easy to create and scalable, well, a video lead magnet is valuable and is scalable, and the quiz is valuable and scalable. But every other lead magnet is only in one of these categories. For example, a webinar is extremely valuable, but it's not scalable. It's not easy to run. You have to record a very, very long webinar once, and then you have to be so, so good at marketing to be able to retain people for like 3 hours. It's not easy. A book is not easy to create. We need something that's easy to create, easy to run, but also valuable. But then the second question is, how can we get as much information as possible from every single lead to know who is qualified while retaining a high opt-in rate? And this question is something that most people never even think about. They never even realize that this is a problem. But if you think about it, in every single normal lead magnet, think about your newsletters, the videos, the ebook that I showed you. All of these lead magnets, they only ask for your name, for your email, and for your phone number. They don't ask anything else. And that's because they can't ask for anything else. Because if they would have more questions than that, no one would answer those questions, and therefore they wouldn't get any leads. But with, for example, a webinar or with a quiz, you can have the standard questions, name, email, and phone number, but also like 5 more questions that give you information whether a lead is qualified or not. And the reason why people answer those questions is because people think that the questions are part of the lead magnet. In a webinar, for example, you can say that you tailor the event, you tailor the webinar based on what they answer. In the quiz, well, it's obvious why you have the questions there, because the lead magnet that they receive is made based on what they answer in the questions. The qualification questions in the quiz intake form, well, they are part of the quiz. They are the quiz. People are actually incentivized to answer many, many personal questions about themselves. And now when you think about it, it's actually very, very obvious why you would want to have these qualification questions in your opt-in. Just think about how valuable it is to know which of your leads are qualified and which are not. Because right now, with your ebook or whatever lead magnet you have, well, you can't know how many of your leads are qualified. You can't know if someone is qualified based on their name, email, or phone number. So it may be that 95% of your leads are unqualified. They are the wrong fit. But if you have the information, then everything becomes so, so much easier. I mean, there are so many things that you can do. Now you know which leads are most important to actually follow up with. You can stop following up completely with the unqualified ones, and just there's so many things that you can do. And just as an example, in Alex Hormozi's quiz, he asks people how many employees they have, what's their revenue, if they are solo owner, or so on. I mean, he knows exactly how much revenue all his leads make. I mean, just think about it. Think about how valuable that is. But this is not possible with a standard lead magnet. And this is the power of the quiz. This is what made me realize why all of them are running quiz funnels. And it became very obvious to me because the quiz is so valuable, it's easy to make, and you get so much information about your leads. It was obvious why the quiz was so much better than other lead magnets. And for those who run paid ads, who run ads to their lead magnets, this is also one of the most powerful things with the quiz that I realized. And I found this when analyzing Hormozi's funnel. So when you run ads to your lead magnet, you obviously need to fire your metapixel somewhere. And if you run ads, well, you know what a metapixel is. The metapixel is what tracks your conversions and what trains your ad algorithm to find more people like them. So with a standard lead magnet, well, as I said, you don't know who's qualified and who's unqualified. So every single lead, everyone who opts in will go to like the same page after the lead magnet. And then you obviously have your metapixel on that page. But that means that you train your ad algorithm on everyone who opts in. You train your ad algorithm both on unqualified people and on qualified people. That means that your ads will also be shown to unqualified people. And you don't want that, obviously. But the power of the quiz is that you know exactly who's qualified and who's unqualified. So what Hormozi does is that he sends all his unqualified leads to one page after the quiz, and he sends all the qualified leads to another page after the quiz. And only on the page where the qualified leads go, only on that page does he have the metapixel. And that means that he trains his ad algorithm only on qualified leads. And that's why his ads get shown to only people that he wants to work with. So if you're wondering why your ads are being shown to the wrong people, well, it's because you're training your pixel, you're training your ad algorithm on the wrong people. I mean, it's obvious. If you train something on shit, the output is also shit. But then let's get into what they did on different platforms. And we're going to start off with Instagram. And Instagram is quite simple because almost every single one that I analyzed was doing the exact same thing on Instagram. They were running a ManyChat automation, and this is easily the best thing to do on Instagram. And how it works is very simple. You have a CTA within your video or in the video description that tells people to comment a keyword, for example, brand in this example. And when they comment that keyword, they will receive a lead magnet. And the lead magnet that you promote in these videos can be anything. You can send people to a YouTube video. You can send them to your lead magnet funnel, you know, the ones that I showed you, for example, the ebook, the webinar, or whatever. Or then you can give people just a one-off resource, like a quick Google Doc or like a custom GPT or something like that. So the thing that people get after they comment the keyword, that's not important. But the important thing here is that whatever you give people needs to be aligned with your video. What people get after commenting the keyword needs to be relevant to what you're talking about in the video, because otherwise this won't work. And this is an example of Dan Henry where this doesn't work. So in the video, like, he talks about how to create content that doesn't kill sales, and then in the description he has a CTA to comment brand to attend his workshop. And as you see, no one commented the keyword, no one commented brand. But if the CTA was, for example, to a YouTube video about this same topic, then he would have gotten many more people to actually comment brand. So to make this work, the CTA, the lead magnet that you give people, needs to be aligned with your video. And that's the exact reason why most people give these one-off resources, because they create the lead magnet specifically for every single video. But if you just have like one ebook, it's very hard to make that ebook fit all your different video topics. But this is again one of the reasons why the quiz is so powerful, because you can make the quiz fit almost anything that you're talking about. Because with the quiz, people will receive something specifically for their situation, because you have the questions. So then how this works is that when someone comments the keyword, then they will receive an instant DM, and these DMs, they are all automated. This is what ManyChat actually does. And what they do is that they tell you that you reached out to get like the resource, but after you reply yes that you want the resource, then what they do is that they like frame the next step to be to work with them. As you see, Dan Henry says, "Thanks for reaching out. Just to be clear, are you here just for the free content, or are you looking to invest in help?" If it makes sense. So you commented a keyword to get a free resource, but now he's already talking about investing in help to work with him. And this is how the entire ManyChat thing works. The automations try to close people within the DMs. It tries to get people to book a call through a private conversation. But obviously, if you tell them that you're not looking to invest in help, then they will just send you the resource that you wanted. And then we come to the Instagram bio, and I see so many people actually getting this wrong. I mean, so many people have like 5 different links in their bio. They have like a link tree that people can click, and then there is like 50 different links. And that's not what you should be doing. When I broke down these high ticket sales funnels, what I found is that almost all of them only had one link within their bio. And it's obvious why they do it. If you give people many options to choose from, then you give them the paradox of choice, and then most people choose to do nothing. But if you give them only one option to do, then they're so much more likely to actually even do something in the first place. And if you're then thinking, well, what link should I have in my bio? And that's actually not that important. You could have your lead magnet, you could have a link to your main high ticket offer. It doesn't matter, both of those work. But the important thing is that you just have one link. But then we get to meta ads. And this is again where we see clear differences. For example, Dan Go runs all of his ads straight to his Instagram profile. And this is quite unusual. But then Sabri Subi and Alex Ramosi both run their ads to their lead magnets. But then some of them ran ads straight to their main high ticket offer. And this is what most businesses are actually doing. And it's the wrong thing, I'm going to tell you that. Most businesses are running ads straight to their main high ticket offer because they're impatient. They want to get people straight to a sales call. And most people do this because it's easy. You just have your landing page or whatever you have, and you send people straight to that page to book a call with you. I mean, why would you want to add additional steps before your main offer? Well, the reason is because most people in your market, They aren't ready to pay for your main high ticket offer just straight off the bat. Only around 3% of people in your entire market are going to be ready to book a call and work with you straight away. And if you run your ads straight to your main offer, well, then you lose the other 97%. But with the lead magnet, you can collect your entire market because everyone wants a valuable free thing, that's obvious. So the lead magnet collects your entire market, but the 3% that is ready to work with you right away, you also get them with your lead magnet. And I'm going to show you how they do it just in a second. But what you need to realize is that when you add an extra step before your main high ticket offer, you don't lose these people. If you send people first to a lead magnet, you actually get everything. You don't lose out on anything. And then lastly, YouTube. And this is what some people also get very, very wrong. On YouTube, you shouldn't collect leads. And I also believe that YouTube is not top of funnel. Obviously, you get people to see you for the first time, also on YouTube, but YouTube is more your middle of funnel. And people who watch your YouTube videos, they are going to be more warm, they're going to be more engaged. So people from YouTube, you want to send them straight to your main high ticket offer. That's what you want to do on YouTube. And the same thing also applies here as in your Instagram bio. You don't want to have many links. You only want to have one link that's your main high ticket offer. Okay, so now that you know how they collect leads and what the top of funnel looks in the best high ticket sales funnels, the next step is to actually nurture the leads that you get to get them to trust you enough to book a call. So what I found is that every single sales funnel had a VSL after the opt-in. And here's 3 quick examples. This is William Brown's quiz opt-in page. This is Cole Gordon's quiz opt-in page. And this is Alex Hormozi's quiz opt-in page. And they all have a VSL right after their opt-in. And the job of the VSL is to collect that 3% that I talked about. So with the lead magnet, you still get the 3% to book a call with you straight away, but they just do it after the opt-in instead of doing it on the first page. And this is the reason why most people don't like running a lead magnet, because they don't get any booked calls from it. You know, most people just have their opt-in page, and then after the opt-in, they just have like a thank you page. And on the thank you page, they just say that the lead magnet is being sent to their email, to their inbox. So it's obvious why you don't get any booked calls, because you don't ask anyone to book a call in your lead magnets. But the best high-ticket sales funnels actually do both. They collect the lead first, and then they ask them to book a call. The second thing that I found is that they have integrated CTAs to book a call everywhere. So for example, after opting in for Hormozi's quiz, you will receive your personalized scaling roadmap, and Hormozi delivers that lead magnet to you with email. Now he sends you an email with a link to the lead magnet. But in this email that's for the lead magnet, he also has CTAs to book a call with him to his main offer. And within his lead magnet, this lead magnet right here, as you see, when you scroll down, he has a CTA right here within the lead magnet. You can click here to go and book a call to work with him. And most people never do this. Most people just send their lead magnet to people without trying to get anything in return. I mean, you need to understand that getting people to book a call with you, that's the most important thing. That's always the end destination. That's where you want people if you run a high ticket business. And in the more places you have your CTA, the more times you ask people to book a call, the more people you will actually get to book a call. Because I can guarantee you that Hormozi gets a lot of people to book a call with him after consuming his lead magnet. Because his lead magnet gives people so much value, it demonstrates his expertise, so people realize that Hormozi can actually help them, and that's why they book a call. So if Hormozi wouldn't have his CTA within his lead magnet, then he would lose out on a lot of booked calls. And the same is with Ravi Abuvala. He also has a CTA to go and book a call in the email where he delivers his lead magnet. Then what I also realized is that all of these businesses, every single one of them, contacts their leads extremely fast. Most of them contacted their leads in even under 1 minute. And there has been studies that if you contact your leads in under 1 minute, it increases your lead to booked rate by 391%. So 4 times more of your leads will book a call with you if you just contact them fast enough. And most businesses never even contact their leads in the first place. And the ones that do contact their leads, well, they do it like 1 hour later or like 1 day later after they opt in. So here I could see one of the biggest differences between the best high ticket sales funnels and like the average ones. And then I found that almost all of them were running email sequences. So they were not sending people just standard newsletters. They had pre-planned, pre-made emails that they knew were high converting, that they send people in a specific order. And quite many businesses do have email sequences, but the problem that most do is that they have a pure salesy email sequence. So they just hammer people with like, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, book a call, book a call. And like, you need to realize that the people that receive your email sequence, they are people that just opted in to your lead magnet. They are people who just saw you for the first time. I mean, they will receive these emails like one day after they saw you for the first time, or like even 5 minutes after. So like they still don't trust you at all. And if they realize that you're just selling to them, well, then they will hate you and they won't read any of your emails in the future. But what Hormozi, Sabri Subi, and Ravi Abuvala are doing is that they have a value email sequence. The entire purpose of their email sequence is to prove their expertise, to build more trust, to get people to like them, to warm people up, to nurture them, and only after that do they ask people to book a call. Because you need to realize, in the first email that they send to people, in this email, they already ask people to book a call in the VSL right after the lead magnet. So if someone hasn't booked a call already by this point, well, then they can't go and send like 10 more emails where they hammer them to book a call. They have already received one email and seen one VSL asking them to book a call. So now if they haven't booked a call, that means that they are not ready. They don't want to do it. So that's why you need to send them value emails. That's why you need to agitate their pain. That's why you need to prove your expertise even further. And if you're not currently running an email sequence, but you have a newsletter, well, what you want to do is that you want to look at which emails were the highest converting ones, from which emails did you get the most booked calls, and then you just take those emails and put them in your email sequence so that every single lead consumes that high converting email. That's how you get as many people as possible to book a call with you. But out of these email sequences that are received after, opting in to their sales funnels, was that Ravi's was actually the best. And here's why. The emails that he sends, well, they're pretty much the same. He gives a lot of value, he teaches people, he educates people, and so on. I mean, we can take a look at one of his emails. I mean, he talks about the first step to scale. He has standard copy here, as you see, talks about creating a golden gap in your offer. I mean, he provides value to you. But the difference with Ravi's email sequence is that he sends people from every single email to a YouTube video, to a long form video asset. And the reason why he does this is because Google has found out that on average it takes around 7 hours of exposure to turn someone from a stranger to a client. And when you think about things, by this stage, people have maybe seen your ad, your short form content, they opted in for your lead magnet, and then they receive these emails. So they have spent like maybe 10 minutes with you at most. And when they read these emails, I mean, they spend maybe 1 minute per email. These emails don't get people anywhere near these 7 hours of exposure. So what Ravi does is that he engineers this exposure. And he does that by sending people to these long form video assets. And these video assets, they do two things. They get this like exposure, they get people to spend time with you, they handle objections, they further prove your expertise, they handle limiting beliefs, they agitate your ICP's problems, and then they all have CTAs to go and book a call with you. And this is the job of your YouTube videos. The job of your YouTube videos is not to get like many native views. The purpose of your YouTube videos is to integrate them within your funnel, to put them in your email sequences, to force people to go and watch them, to engineer consumption. And as you all probably realize, watching a video nurtures you much more than only reading some text. So Ravi's leads get much more nurtured by going and watching these videos than by just reading these emails. But talking about these video assets, what I found is that almost every single one of these best high-ticket sales funnels, almost all of them have YouTube channels. Almost all of them have many, many, many YouTube videos. But you shouldn't get scared. You don't need to go and create like 100 videos and post them on your channel. Because as I already told you, the purpose of these videos is not to go viral. It's not to get native views. The purpose of these videos is to integrate them within your funnel. As you saw with Ravi, the purpose is to link them within your email sequence, for example. So the only thing you need to do is to go and create like 5 to 10 strategic videos that solve your ICP's biggest problems, that handle objections, that overcome limiting beliefs, and then you post them on YouTube, and then you link people to those videos from other places in your sales funnel. But video assets are crucial today. You need to have long form video assets, but you don't need to create 50 videos. You only need 5 to 10. And then, now that we have nurtured our leads, now that they are warm and trust us, now we need to get them to actually book a call with us, because that's the most important thing. Everything should funnel to booking a call, because that's where we actually close our high ticket clients. And this is the place where every single sales funnel that I broke down united. Every sales funnel had the same thing. All of them ran a VSL as their conversion mechanism. All of them had a VSL that led people to booking a call for their high ticket service. And it's very simple why they have a VSL. It's because a video is so much more engaging than just pure text on a page. And because a video also converts people much better than just pure text. You are able to convey emotions better, you are able to explain what you do better, it builds more trust, people get to know you, people's attention span is longer watching a video than reading pure text. So there are so many benefits with running a video instead of having just pure text on a page. And that's the reason why every single one, every sales funnel that I broke down had a VSL as the conversion mechanism to get booked calls. And the job of this VSL page is to obviously get people to book a call, but the objective is to build clarity, just to get things clear in the prospect's mind. Because if the prospect doesn't really understand what you do, who you help, what problems you solve, what outcome you provide, well, then no one will ever book a call. So what these people do with their VSL is that they try to build as much clarity as possible. They try to make it very clear what they do, who they help, what problems they solve, and what outcome they provide. So that people know exactly if they can help them. Because a confused mind never books a call. And you need to realize that the people who land on these VSL pages, they are already warm. So they do trust them. Now they just need to understand what they help you with. And if people understand what you help them with and they trust you, that's when they book a call. So you don't need to have some very clever marketing thing here. You only need to be clear at what you do, because the people who land on these pages, they are warm, they already trust you, they already like you. They only need to understand what you do and if you can help their problems. And what I see most businesses doing is that they either only have their calendar that they send people when they want to get booked calls, or then they have a standard landing page. They have a standard website that only has text, and then it has a CTA to go and book a call. And you probably realize by this stage why both of these don't work. The calendar, well, I mean, it's just a calendar. It doesn't build any clarity, as I told you. I mean, people don't really know what they're booking a call for. And then secondly, the landing page, I mean, it has only text, and I already told you why that's not as good as having a video on your page. And then the last thing that all of them have before booking a call is a very strict qualification form. They only let people who are actually the right fit and ready to work right now book a call. Everyone else, they don't even get to see the calendar. And you want to have this qualification form integrated on your VSL page like this, beneath your video. Don't have an extra pop-up or an extra step. Have it visible and seen for people so they know what the next step looks like. And then lastly, we have what they do post-booking, after people have booked a call. And as I said at the beginning of the video, this is one of the most underlooked parts in every sales funnel. What most businesses have after someone books a call is just a generic thank you page. I mean, they just have a page where they say, thanks for booking a call, we've sent a confirmation to your email. But what you need to realize is that after someone has booked a call, this is what decides whether you close the client or whether you lose them. The thank you page is where you solve all your sales problems. You don't solve your sales problems during the sales call. You solve them before it. I mean, all your no-shows, I mean, 2 call closes, having to explain things over and over again, having to handle the same objections, all of those problems are handled with the correct thank you page. And these are screenshots from one of Ravi Abuvala's videos, because Ravi actually has a very nice thank you page. So firstly, he has the same thing. He tells people that they're booked and he thanks them for booking a call. He tells people to check their email for the calendar invite. But then he has a button for people to click to actually confirm their call. And this is to increase show-up rates. And I'm going to tell you why in just a second. But then he also has a video on his thank you page. And the purpose of this video is to do all the explanation, all the education before the sales call, so that people understand exactly what you do, how your process works before they ever speak to you. I mean, just think about all the explanation you do on every single sales call over and over again to every single prospect. You can just put all of that explanation into one video and have it on your thank you page, and then make every single lead watch that video before the call. That means that everyone will come to your calls pre-aligned, already understanding exactly what you do. They won't have any questions. And then beneath this video, you want to have a few additional videos where you overcome your most common objections. So you overcome one objection per video. And this means that people won't have any questions or objections either when they come to your call. And this makes your life so much easier if you actually implement something like this. And then the second thing that they have is a correct pre-call sequence. And most businesses send reminders like this. They just send the standard Calendly automated reminders, and like people know that these reminders are automated. They know that you haven't put in any effort. And like these reminders, they don't achieve anything because most people, they don't even care. They don't even read these because they are so generic and everyone sends them. But what you actually want to do is this. Obviously, you first have your like booking confirmation where you send the link to the Zoom call where you confirm the date and time of the call and so on. You know, the standard confirmations. But what you then want to do is you want to get people to reply yes to confirm that they will show up to the call. And this is what I showed on Ravi's thank you page. And the thing is that the people who actually confirm their call, they have a 95% show up rate. But the people who don't reply yes, who don't confirm the call, they have on average a 60% show up rate, around 60%. So you want to try to get as many people as possible to reply yes to confirm their call. And then instead of these standard generic automated reminders that don't achieve anything, you want to send personal video reminders. So just a short video, for example, 50 seconds, 47 seconds, where you show something that you have set up for the call. And if you have a sales team, this is where you actually introduce your salesperson. So in the message, you could say something like, hey, Sarah, quick video for you ahead of our call tomorrow. Really looking forward to chatting. I pulled up some ideas for your funnel already. See you at 2 p.m. And this is so much more engaging, and you actually build a personal connection with people. They actually realize that you have put in some effort for them. They actually realize that you give a fuck. Because if you send these standard reminders, I mean, people will just feel like a number to your business. But if you send a personal video reminder for every single one, then they actually feel like you care about them. And then they will be so much more likely to actually show up to the call and to close during the call. And what you want to do with your emails is that you want to send them an email where you link a YouTube video. And the important thing here is that you want to send them a video that specifically solves their biggest problem. So in your application form before people book the call, there you should ask people what they're struggling with the most, and then you send them a video depending on what they answer. So for me, for example, if someone says that they struggle with show-up rates the most, then I will send them an email with a video about show-up rates. If they said they struggle with generating new leads, then I will have a video about generating new leads. And this makes your follow-ups, your reminders so much more personalized and actually relevant to them. And that will make your entire pre-call sequence work so much better. So this was everything that I found when analyzing the best high ticket sales funnels. So now go and implement all of these things into your business. And if you have any more questions, I will put my Instagram in the description below. So feel free to shoot me a DM and I will be more than happy to help you out. See you in the next one.